What's up, folks? Welcome to episode of What I'm Playing today. Haste Broken Worlds. Haste Broken Worlds. I'll be honest with the viewers. I didn't... Well, okay, I saw this game. I was like, oh, just listen. Just listen. Yo, she's vibing. She's vibing. Zoe... Noah, what's her name? I think it's Zoe. She's vibing. Anyway, I thought I was gonna like this game. This is kind of how it goes with me. I see a game, I see a trailer for said game, and I'm like, oh, junk, I'm gonna love this game. I get the game. It's a new game. This game just came out maybe a week ago. I get the game, and I'm like, oh my god, this isn't that good. It's not like finished yet, or it's not really polished. It's not in early access. This game, it's like fully out. And then I realized that I usually don't buy Steam games shortly after they come out. So in this case, the producers of said game have actually been really actively working on updates. And this has become like a really fun game. So what this is Haste Broken Worlds. There's a whole story involved, and like I guess like the universes are collapsing. It's some Marvel freaking Rivals freaking multiverse stuff, you know. Go watch my What I'm Playing episodes on that, by the way. Which I really enjoy that game. I played for like 10 hours or something this weekend, and I feel like I'm starting to get over the hill with it and be like, okay, this is just like Overwatch, and I kind of hate it, but I still like that game a lot. But it's some like multiverse stuff. The worlds are breaking, and if you slow down, your character Zoe here is always running. If you slow down, the world behind you, like, I mean, not in these areas, but the world behind you will start like cracking and falling apart. You'll take damage and you die. And so it's basically just a speed running game. And I don't need any of those things, and that's kind of cool. I was looking for a game to scratch the itch of Neon White. That game was a lot of fun. It was a lot of bite-sized little levels, and it was all about kind of perfecting, you know, your memorization. And at first, because I don't read anything about these games when I get them, I was like, oh, this is just like that. You know, you're running through levels, and you're gonna have to keep getting faster and faster and faster. Sonic X. But I realize I have henceforth come to learn this game is randomly, procedurally generated. So every level you get, every one of these running levels, it's a roguelite. There you go. In that every time you enter a shard, which are one of these courses, basically there's all these this series of courses and challenge stages and like item pickup places. It's all like a randomly kind of generated path. So the items that you get are going to be random. The paths you take, like the actual worlds themselves, will be random. So every run's going to be a little bit different, and the game is really all about you mastering the technique of running and falling and hitting slopes just right to go faster, so it's basically a Sonic game. It's all about mastering those techniques and applying it to whatever situations get thrown at you. And at first I was like, oh, this is kind of hard. It's not gonna be like Neon White, because you can't just memorize the level layouts and get better with time. But having spent about a week playing this is actually a lot of fun, because I have to think on my feet. And so even though the game at its core I'll explain as I'm running through here. The game at its core is you're always running forward, unless you're in like a challenge mode, which you have to start running forward, like a boss fight that you start out at a standstill. But you're always running forward, and you have a couple of controls. There are some items you can use. Some items are like auto use, like the ones I have now, which I don't even know what they do. I still have to like figure out and learn. Because like a lot of roguelikes, they have these little mini systems in them about like boost and about close calls and all these things. So I have to I don't know what all these items do off the top of my head. But you have auto use items, you have items that you have to use. So you can get like health restores, boost dashes, or whatever. And then the only other control you have is to fall. So if you hold the cross button, oh god, if you hold the cross button, you fall. And you dive, really, is what it is. And it's all about the angle at which you hit the slopes. So if you hit a slope just right, you'll get a perfect, like I did there, or you'll get a good, which is a little, obviously worse than a perfect, but it's good enough. But you want to chain together perfects, stay as low to the ground as you can, because that way you go faster. There's also rankings at the end of every course, so you can kind of get a sense of how well you did. But in Master, oh God, I love this song so much. Like, give me some lo-fi any day of the week. Sure, we'll do that one. But in mastering this, it's like, it is a lot of fun because the controls are fairly simple. Like, all I'm really doing is pressing A to dive, and then occasionally you'll see this little cape thing pop up. That's an item. So there's also a surfboard, you can use it. You can kind of glide through the air with. But the cape, which is an item that you get from one of the characters in the game, it gives you a little bit more of an aerial boost. And it's so cool to run through these levels, and you're constantly trying to avoid obstacles, but you're not overwhelmed because there really aren't a whole lot of buttons to press. Like, there's not a whole lot of stuff happening. It's a very simple premise, but through simplicity lies the complexity. Yeah. So I don't know. This game has been a lot of fun. It was frustrating. That's the other thing I really wanted to say about this, was that because I usually don't play Steam games, I guess I kind of said this earlier, but because I don't usually play Steam games right at launch, and like I was never a PC gamer, so I don't stay as up on things as I do with like other games, like console games. Because of that, I wasn't really sure how I was going to handle this game, because when the game came out, there were a couple things that were bugging me. So I more or less got through the first boss. The first boss took me a couple tries, and then after the first boss, I managed to beat the second and third bosses pretty straightforward. I got to the fourth boss. The fourth boss is a snake that basically dives and burrows in the ground, or like comes back up. He has like this up down pattern, and it was, for the life of me, so challenging to beat, just because you can't really avoid him diving, and then he has like these little pegs on his back that will pop up, and you can't if you hit them you take damage, and because he's going up and down, there's like this ripply motion. There isn't really like there's not really a good flow you can get into, at least I found, because you're constantly going to be falling off of his back. Sorry, this is actually really hard to do and talk, but anyway, yeah, it's like there's not really a easy way to hit him, and I got really frustrated. But lo and behold, the developers they came out with an update patch, and they recognized that was a problem. So they took away things like that boss had homing lasers. They took away those homing lasers. They took away some of the other, how often he burrows into the ground. I think they yeah, that was too easy, apparently. I was having too good of a run with low health. Can't have that happen. But they changed like his burrowing pattern, not his burrowing patterns, but they changed, I guess, the homing lasers, and it was something else. I guess how often he goes in the ground. Oh, and they added like a smoke trail so you could actually find him, because I couldn't see him. Like he was so hard to see. So in the process of doing all that, it made the boss easier, and I actually beat him on my second try last night. So it was reassuring to actually play a game from the start of its like release that is getting updates to actually make the game more playable. One of the things I mentioned was they changed the homing lasers because it didn't really add anything to the game, and it was more frustrating than fun to fight. And I think that brings up a point that's really important regarding games as a whole, because there is this kind of urge to want to have, be an OG pro and play a game on the hardest mode. For people who want to do that, that's fine. And if you want to do that, then don't update your games past 1.0. Like, just don't update your games. Just turn your internet off or your Steam Deck after you download it. Or uninstall updates or something. I don't know. But for the average player, and for someone like me who, like, I consider myself a hardcore gamer. I play a lot of games. I own a lot of games. I also recognize that I don't have the time, and there's other things I want to do in life than just sit around and play games all day. I don't have the time to just sit there and master the mechanics of every single game that I play. I started out Metaphor, played for about 75 hours on normal mode, got to the point where I felt like I was under level and I didn't really have the time to do. Well, that's new. They changed that to where it doesn't obscure your vision at the end of the boss so you can see it explode. Where I actually learned, we're going to complete the shard. I actually learned where I wasn't getting better at the bosses, and I realized that I wasn't, I was struggling with how much, with how under leveled I was. So at a certain point, I just decided I'm going to put it on easy mode, and it was more fun that way. It's still not that fun. I realized I've played a lot of JRPGs, and after a while you're just kind of like, okay, I've had my fill. So, I played a lot of JRPGs recently too. Talk to me, lady. Takes a lot of skill to use my grappling hook, okay. 1500 anti-sparks? Oh, almost. Okay, so I won't buy anything. Let's go into the new level and let's see what happens. Actually, where is the new level? One of the things about this game, for some reason the text is really small, and I'm not really sure why. I don't know if it's because they assume that you're going to be playing with like on a computer and like a larger monitor, but I'm playing on a TV and it's still pretty small. So I don't really understand it. Like, the text is just too tiny for its own good. Is this the first? Oh wait, this isn't the... This is the second stage, I think. Alright, well we'll do that because... I mean, I don't know. Thinking about this game, I might do a full playthrough at some point. It is a very Brandon game. Like, this is very much something that I enjoy. It's Sonic. I don't know if it's Sonic inspired truly, but it's... I mean, I don't know how you could see this and not think that Sonic had some role in shaping this developer's gameplay. I mean, this is essentially the Mach Speed sections from Sonic 06, which I think is pretty apparent. I'm sure there are other like running games that are similar, but I know as far as mainstream and like things that most people would have played, I'd imagine this is inspired by Sonic. But I'll have to look into that because I'd love to know. And if there are other games like this, like, because I even think about something like Spark the Electric Jester. 2 and 3 are 3D games, and they feel kind of similar to this. They're more like a 3D Sonic game, or more like a... Wait, let's just go all the way. There we go. Yes, they're more like a 3D Sonic game in terms of having like 3D open environments, but there are a lot of speed sections where you can just kind of blitz through stuff. That's a game that I don't think I've played for the channel yet, and maybe I'll do an episode of that after this because I have the first and second ones. The first one is just a 2D platformer, which is kind of weird because it's a Sonic game, but also the character Spark has it's not exactly Kirby powers, but he does get like he's an electric jester, and like the power that he gets is basically the beam power up from Kirby, and it's weird because like when Kirby has the beam, he has the jester hat, and I'm not really sure why. Like I don't know if that was a direct reference to Kirby, or if it was a direct reference to something else, or if it was just like a happy coinky dink. But I don't know. I'm screwing it. If I die, I'll just yep. I don't know if it was a coincidence, but it is interesting that it's like a Sonic game, but it also kind of feels like a Kirby game with the power-ups, or some of the power-ups. I don't know. But yeah, maybe I'll do an episode of that game. Those levels I don't like as much. I've had that game for about a year now, and I've not played very much of it at all. Oh, far. Okay, let's just... Alright, so you can see I'm going too slow, and now the world is cracking around me. That is not great, and if you keep going slow enough and the cracks outpace you, you're going to... Well, A, the music's going to change, but also you're going to start taking damage. Alright, well, there you go. to think I'm already on the 5th level, but I can't be the second one when I'm recording. But that's Haste. I mean, it is definitely a really solid game. I want to say it's like $15 maybe. I don't even know. It's a very solid game though. Like, I'm thoroughly enjoying my time with it, and it's definitely something that is very pick up and playable. So check it out if you're so inclined. If you like Sonic games, if you like I don't know, Spark the Electric Jester, I'd say give it a shot. It's definitely worth your time. But that's gonna do it for this episode of What I'm Playing. Next time we'll come back, probably play something else, maybe Spark the Electric Jester. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.